With 10 games left in the season, we're getting down to desperate hockey for the Montreal Canadiens. Kind of a must-win game today. The Hangout starts now. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Welcome to Talking Habs. It's getting down to desperate times for the Montreal Canadiens. They on a 5-game losing streak. They need to stop that. It's going to be difficult against Florida, especially we got 2 games in a row against Florida. But that's what the times call for. With 10 games, they don't have much time. New York pulled ahead of them last night and are in the wildcard 2 spot. Montreal has a game in hand. With a win today, they will take that back. And they might even have 2 games in hand. I'm not sure, but with a win today, Montreal would be back in the wildcard 2 spot with the Islanders and whoever's behind them yapping at their heels. So it's desperate times. They need to win. They've got some easy games coming. Well, I want to say winnable games coming up. And they can put a streak together, especially if they can beat Florida at least once out of these 2 games. So yeah, it's not all over yet. Anyway, I got some stuff for the game. I've got some stats for the game, and I've got the Guess the Score contest, Guess the Score of the game, and the first goal scorer of the game. And if you're the first person in the chat with that guess, and you are from Canada, you win the $10 cash prize directly into your bank account via Interact. We've had no winners this season. Let's get one. Good luck to everybody. I'm going to give you mine in a second. I will be changing the rules for next season to make it a little bit easier to win this, but that's going to happen next season. So good luck. My guess is, and I don't feel confident in this guess, but I'm not going against Montreal the rest of the way. As I said, 4-3 Montreal. I'm going to give Patrick Laine the first goal. He gets about, a goal every 2 games on average. So he didn't get one last game. He's going to go in this game. So that's what I've got. Leave yours in the chat. Good luck to everybody. So I wrote this. As close to a must game as you can get. So, yeah, will they survive if they lose and carry on in this race? Yes, but they need to win today. A win today puts them back in the wild card 2 spot. Only the Islanders are playing today, and if they win and Montreal wins, they can't catch them yet. But if Isles win and Montreal loses, they will go ahead by 1 point. I should be showing you this as you can see here. Rangers with 77. They got 74 games played. Montreal playing today will be 73 games. So they'll still have a game in hand, tied in points. The regulation wins doesn't come in play here, and Montreal would take that over. The Jackets are right there, tied with Montreal in points. They won't win the regulation wins right now, so that helps. And then you got the Islanders and the Red Wings right there. So still a really, really tight race. Montreal 3-4-3 in their last 10, 5-game losing skid, and 18-12-5 at home. Florida Panthers 6-4-0 in their last 10, and that to me is a little bit encouraging. They're not coming in 8-1-1 or something like that, right? They're also 20-15-1 on the road, and Montreal's beaten them twice, 4-0 and 3-1, and we're playing them again on Tuesday. So, Galley mouthing off rightfully about the refs. And I don't know if you've seen the clip. I've included a link in the description for Whiskey Lungs video. If you get to 8:35, I think, in the video, that's the clip. That's the only thing I could find in a quick time, like a short time. So I've linked it there. He says what everybody's thinking. Calls them incompetent, basically, and we need better quality refs. And it's happening. Players across the league are complaining. Finally, somebody had the balls to speak up. He's probably going to get a fine for that. He's got enough money. It's not a problem. And hopefully we don't get extra penalties in all the games going forward because of what he said. But you got to go watch it after the game. Check that out. I mean, you can do it whenever you want. You're going to see what balls. It took balls to do that because you're not supposed to talk about the refs like that. Right on Galley. Another reason why we love that guy. Nick Suzuki is the second most used forward in the NHL. That's how important a good second line is, right? If he wasn't as tired or overused, he might be doing even more than he's doing. But it's important to have a second line. But there's a stat that points to that fact that our second line sucks. Mike Pizzetta is in. Joshua Roy out. Caden Gooley in. And I'll have to say I was wrong on the next one. And whoever I was talking about it last game was right. I think it was Aiken and somebody else. Arbor Jacki is out. Tonight it's Monty versus Bob. I'll show you when I show the lineups if you don't know who that is. And let's get to, I showed you the standings. Don't have to do that. Power play percentage, 20.9 for Montreal, 24.1 for Florida. Underlined, whoever has the best stats. You can see 4 of them for Florida, 1 for Montreal. Penalty kill percentage, 80.3 for Montreal, 81.2 for Florida. Now, Montreal's not that far off that special teams are going to be decimated by theirs, obviously. Face-off percentage, 50.8 for Montreal, 49.1 for Florida. And goals for per game, 2.97 for Montreal and 3.14 for Florida. Not that big a difference. And goals against per game, 3.35 for Montreal, 2.69 for Florida. And that's where, Montreal's got to tighten up, have a better game defensively to match how Florida is playing defensively. Goalies tonight, as I said, Sam Montembeault, 25, 23, and 6. 293 goals against, 899 save percentage, 4 shutouts. And Bob, Sergei Bobrovsky, is 31, 15, and 2, 243 goals against, 907 save percentage, 5 shutouts. The surprise there is if you look at Florida's overall save percentage is at 898. So their backup hasn't been doing the job, obviously. And look at Vanacek, 884. So he's not there that long, but Florida, Barkov, Verhaeghe, Reinhart, Bennett, Marchand, Samoskevich, Lundell, Lustorainen, and Boquist, Greer, Sturm, and Rodriguez. I guess it's Rodriguez. Because here I know somebody and it's Rodrigue. Same spelling. That's why I get stuck on that. Forsling and Jones, first pair. Mikola and Schmidt, second pair. Belinskis and Bjornfoot, third pair. Bobby Net. Habs. Now, this is not accurate because I do have the accurate lineup. It is Suzuki, Caulfield, Slav. And we are getting, wait a second. It's, I think Hein. I'm not sure who got moved up. Honestly, I should have copied it. I saw it, thought I'd remember, but it's not Raw with Newhook and Line A. It's Pizzetta, Evans, and Armia for the fourth line. So Heineman moved up somewhere, and I'm not sure exactly. And Dvorak, Anderson, Gallagher could be together. I know I should have copied that, but I saw it just before the show started. Matheson, Carrier, Struble, Hudson, and that's not how it is. I know it's Gooley and Hudson, so I'm going to say Matheson, Carrier is going to stay the same, and Savard and Struble, I think it is. Anyway, good job by me doing that. It was really good, professional. All right, I'm going to find my game because my feed was the one I wanted wasn't there yet. And it is still not there. It's what I was afraid of. Well, let's go to that one because that's the best stream. I'll get the feed from the other. Game is on. A minute. Here we go. It's 4-0 Florida already. No, it's not. I will have to put up with the NHL, I don't know what this is, NHL Live, whatever, NHL American feed. But this is the best streaming, the site they use. They give you a whole bunch of options. This one works the best and keeps you not as far behind as everybody else. So there you go. I'm now going to see who's here, and I apologize that I've taken this long. It's been being an early game. It's been a weird morning. So, all right, Guru, 3-1 Panthers. Marchand, conservative lawyer, 3-2 Habs. Suzuki, first goal. Elliot, Jack-I not playing. Pizzetta is in. He had me updated before I got to it. Rest Jack-I for the playoffs, says Phil. Galley first goal, 6-5 win for Montreal. Joe just woke up. It's early for Joe. It's like 4 a.m. there. Aki 4-3 Habs. Cole. BL, you've been on the missing list on the last 2 nights with the Q playoff. No worries. I figured that. You're down 2-0 to Baie-Comeau. Unfortunately, I see Habs losing 5-2. Ed Jovanovski. I can't even pronounce it. Ed Jovanovski with the first goal. Yeah, another. You gotta obviously one day, BL. You gotta please explain me your system in picking the first goal scorer. Let's see. Joe says 5-4 Habs. Caulfield first goal. I'll remind you, I had 4-3 Habs. I'm not confident in that, though. I will say that I'm not confident this is going to be a game where I just hope they stay with them and the game's not over like in the first period. That's what I'm going to say. O'Doyle. Hey, O'Doyle. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Habs need to score at least 4 to win today. I hope the fourth line shows up, and hence my guess 4-3 Habs. 4 goals for the Habs. I kind of agree with that. They have to be. They've got to be the better team by far, I think. We'll see. Anyways, I don't mind if this is overtime. Obviously, if they win, at least take a point out of this game. But I'm not really going to be happy with just a point. They really need to take 2 out of here. It's a big mountain to climb. O'Doyle's got 4-3. Habs, Matheson, first goal. J-Fed, 4-2 Florida, Verhage. Joe's going for a cuppa. That's tea. You don't say that for coffee, am I correct? And a cheese roll. Nice. What did I have for breakfast? I had 2 slices of 9-grain bread that I found that I love. So I don't eat white bread anymore since I found that. With a little margarine, a little bit of jam, and a banana. That was my breakfast after a 14-hour intermittent fast. And you know what? Now, I've had a little bit of this, but very little. And I feel more energetic. I definitely say I feel more energetic overall all day long with my new diet. So enough about me. We're 3 minutes into this game. There's no score. 2 shots for Florida, 1 for Montreal. And I have no idea how it's going because I hardly looked at it yet. So I'm gonna do that now. Come back, please. Yes. Just I was telling you about a video I'm working on. Just to let you know, I'm working on it. It's coming along. Putting the names together. It's trade targets for the Habs. I'm trying to find one from each team. There are some teams. I don't think there's anybody that you could even say, even maybe. So, but I'm gonna try to find one from every team or as many teams as I can. Oh, good save, Bob. Good save, Bob, tracking that puck. And then Newhook tried to put it under his arm. Well, good save, Bob. Hey, Johnny Cash. It's not a must win, as they say, but it's as close to a must win as you can get. I see there's a ton of comments. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Ooh, off the post. Rodriguez off the post. We need line 1 to show up tonight. today. They just need line one in there to Flaff with a good chance right in front. Well, I mean, from what I'm seeing here, we're not getting outplayed necessarily. We're staying with them. If they can just do that all game, they got themselves a chance. So early to say that, though. BL, yeah, I'm doing 14 hours, trying to get to 16. I'm starting with 14 because I can manage that. And oddly, I'm not snacking late at night. I'm not doing any of that, and I'm not hungry to snack a lot. Like my appetite's not what it was. The in between stuff, in between meals. So it's going okay, and I need to do that because of my diabetes. So about time I started doing this. I mean, it's about time. High sticking on for Galley. Habs on the PK. Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't you look at that and say the player might have was guilty too of and pushing Galley's stick up like that? It's hard to tell there, but no. BL, yeah, type 2. And I haven't been good about it, so it's yeah. I've been trying, and like a smoker, trying quits and starts and quits and starts. Um, I've done that. I think I'm getting it finally. Eric, we need to stay out of the box. How long's left here now? Is it over? No, a minute 24 to go. In the power, the power play. Would somebody agree with me what I said about the high stick? I am taking metformin, Bill. I'm taking metformin, Januvia, vitamin B12 with that. I'm taking a few things. It's not my diet that I've been eating has been horrible. It's my fault. I haven't done anything about it. I'm finally doing something about it. In an attempt to live longer. Yeah, I just I don't know. I saw a series of videos that finally I understood, and it's also at the same time scared the shit out of me. And good thing, because I'm making the changes. And now that I'm making the change, it's not as hard as I thought it would be. It's hard, but I mean, it's not as hard as I thought it would be. So far, it's just the second week. So I'm not long into it, but so we are a little bit over just over 6 minutes into this first. Shots are now 4-2, still no score. And we're at 4-on-4 now. I missed that. 4-on-4 for 45 seconds. I really don't know what the penalty was. So Montreal will have a minute 15 power play once that's done. Lundell also high sticking. That's what I heard the announcer there say. Yeah, Joe, especially if it's calming tea, you might need some. I'm hoping we get a game that is like that, right? That, keeps us on the edge of our seats. It's exciting. We don't know who's going to win till late. Joe, we got to get a day like that too. It's a rainy, kind of gray, kind of gloomy day here. It was freezing rain. But now it's warm enough so you can walk outside and stuff. It's not horrible, but yeah. Anyway, so like I said, I'm working on the video for targets. You know, it's really funny because you all know a lot of people have said Crosby. Montreal's got to get Crosby. That's starting to be something other people are talking about, like serious people. So, and on Pittsburgh, I don't think there's anybody else that Montreal would want, but it's being talked about now. Like, how do I want to put that? It's like a snowball, right? It's just been made. It's starting to roll, and people are starting to talk about it. We'll see how big it grows, but yeah, I'd go for that. Yeah, Phil, people have a few people, but you get laughed at, right? But now writers, like serious writers, they're starting to talk about it. We don't need Letang. Letang is too old. I don't want Letang to come along with him. We just need Crosby. That's the guy we need. Oh, nice little tip by Evans in front. Bob makes the save. 15 seconds left on the 4-on-4. All right, so Habs are now on the power play for 1:15. JFed, don't say that though. I get where you're coming from though. I totally do get it. But I don't know if that, and I'm not saying he's getting traded. I'm just saying that it's something that would be great for Montreal, I think, and I think the possibility is actually there. Just that I get where you're coming from, and yeah, I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing against that argument. But I still think it's going to build a little bit, and we'll see if it can happen. Crosby is, yeah, they're going to rebuild over there. He's not going to do that. Here, the rebuild's pretty much over. You bring Crosby in, rebuild's over. Right? So, yeah, I can see that. And really, Pittsburgh they got to rebuild. They should move the guys that are holding that back and just do it. The return, from what I'm hearing, if you want to know what I'm hearing, is our 2 first-round picks and one of either Beck, Roy, Mayu, Kapanen. You're going to have to give up one of those guys. And hopefully that's it. And they're saying not Michael Hage is not a guy that he's not an untouchable, but he's close. And I don't think the Habs are going to want to move him. Because when Crosby would be done, I think the plan is that Hage would be ready in 2 more years after this year. Anyways, that's what I'm hearing and reading from people that I trust and like. Well, I like and I trust their opinions. And it's been Phil's opinion for a while. I've talked about it. But when you do, people, it's stupid. It's not happening. We'll see. 11 and a half minutes left here in the first. Shots are now 4-3, so not much change there, and it's still no score. I like that Montreal is staying with them. We're now almost halfway through the period. Like, maybe there's something to this that Montreal's got Florida's number this year. I'm hoping that's the case. In my guess in the video I did, I had this game as a loss in OT, I believe. So I hope I'm wrong that it's a win, and I don't care if it goes to OT, but at least go to OT so that if we do lose, we get a minimum of a point. I kind of think the rest of the way, man, they need to take a point out of each game, at least as a minimum, a point. Can't have a regulation loss. But they probably will, of course. Bill, I heard what? What? Well, I heard a point being made that how many players who are asked to waive their no movement clause say no? The writers about 10%, and then that person who says no, I don't want to move, oftentimes gets booed by the rest of his time by the fans because they didn't. Now, would Crosby get booed? I don't know. But also, if they came and asked him, I don't know that he'd say no. I don't know that he's that guy. So I'm not, I'm not going to say that it's a ridiculous thought. I don't think it is, and it would be fucking awesome if it happened. Aiken, I kind of lean towards that. It won't happen, but it might. And the video I'm doing is all about speculation anyway, right? So I'll give my points for it. And then you guys decide if you like it or not. When the video comes out, you give me a thumbs down that you didn't like it. That's all. We don't have I'm not a tyrant here. I'm not a dictator here to tell you whether to give it up or down. Whoops. Didn't want to put that in necessarily. JFAD, I mean, yeah, but if we don't have stuff like that to talk about, what are we going to talk about? How are we going to get you guys to watch videos and stuff? Is it clickbaity? It is, but it's also enough of a possibility that I think it would be worth talking about, that it's not total clickbait. Oh, good save, Monty. 9 minutes left in this first. Habs are up 6-5 on the shots now, but still no score. There's a good chance there, but I don't know who that was. But good save, Monty. Another high stick penalty, and this time again on Florida. Dvorak getting a high stick. No blood, so 2 minutes. Going on the power play. Yeah, Phil, I kind of agree with you there, and right after he's retired, he can go back to Pittsburgh. They won't hate him. Hey, babe, no worries, man. You only missed half a period. You saying no on Beck? Beck's not untouchable. Sorry. Kapanen, Mayu's not an untouchable. Mayshar's not untouchable. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to ask for Doc, so I don't think that's a thing. Now, Huzu makes a good point. So there's a good point by Huzu that, they might not do it fearing that fans won't come. And maybe that's the truth there. I don't know. But that's a fair point. But I mean, even so, then what? You can't sign him like, Sidney Crosby turned 60 today and just signed a new contract with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't think that's going to happen either. So, but it's definitely a fair point. Let's turn my camera on because you guys know why. I'm going to give you something different to look at. What do I got? Take a look at the Rocket. Line A time. Elliot says that every time, and he's gonna be right one day. Just joking. Lucas says, go it on the PP, and Phil said, lift the seat up, and that's a good point. Don't forget to lift the seat up. J-Fed, I think a lot of jerseys would be sold. Don't you think? If Crosby came here, a lot of merchandise. So Montreal wants him. Boom! Line A time. Elliot got it right. Elliot, I said it. You're going to get it right sometimes, and you did. All right. Nice. Montreal up 1-0. March 30th, 1916. Habs win their first Stanley Cup. Their first. Awesome. Or maybe it is the first. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, they're going to face that in a couple of years anyway. You can look at it like that. I don't know. But I mean, it's still a fair point. Pittsburgh would need tons of picks, and we happen to have just that, and that's exactly right, Phil. I'd throw a second in, or a third anyway. I'd throw a third into that. Why not? 2 firsts, a third, and Owen Beck. Because quite frankly, if that's the lineup, you might not be able to use him anyway. He might be just a victim of numbers. I think he's an NHLer, so it's not a knock on him in any way, but I mean, a victim of numbers at that point. Uh-oh. I'm getting the warnings tonight, so it's they're going to tie it up here. Find out how far behind I am. Right there. Well, was that Lundell? Who was that? Whoever that was a nice backhand. Reinhardt? It was Reinhardt. Like, that's a perfect backhand there. He hits the inside of the post, or just inside, right? Just perfect. You could say Monty should have had that, and maybe so. Maybe so. But I mean, look who scored, and that was just a perfect shot. So it's 50-50, but he probably should have had that. So we're tied up at 1. Shots are 8-5 for Montreal, and there's 6:20 left in the first. So that was the Habs' first cup. Nice. Well, it can. I get what you're saying, and I'm going to come up with a whole bunch of them in one video. I get it. It doesn't mean can't be talked about. And I don't think it's clickbait like that. I think it's fair to talk about what, at this time of year. And it depends how you do it, how you promote it. I don't think it's clickbait. I try not to ever do clickbait. But where's Beck going to play, Phil, next year? So say they get whoever, that second line center, right? Newhook is probably going to be your third line center, and Evans is your fourth line center. Where are you playing Beck, if not the wing? But we're loaded with wingers. I don't think so. I mean, Beck becomes either he develops longer in the AHL and, he's depth, or you move him and use that capital, I guess, to get a good return, because you're not getting that good return without giving something good. Not happening. The kind of player that Montreal's looking to acquire for the second line position is not a kind of guy where Hughes can go out and you're going to go, wow, he fleeced them completely and he gave nothing to get. You're not getting that guy. We're not getting a reclamation project or a guy with baggage, or, we're getting, I believe that's what he's going to get, is a guy you can go, wow, that's the right, the right guy. That, you're confident that that guy will come in right away and be good and not have to wait on it, Now, that's what I think. Now, is that my opinion? As always here, I base my opinions on what I'm reading and what I'm hearing. And if it makes sense, doesn't make sense, and then I'll talk about it and I'll form new opinions based on new information. And anybody who doesn't do that, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. Come on, boys. Let's get one before the period ends. Come on. Habs with some good pressure here. Oh, Caulfield almost with a redirect. Just missed on that. I'm getting good wood on it. Good work there by the first line. Now, second line's out. Let's see what they can do. Can't hold the zone. Come on. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Oh, open net. Couldn't get the puck. Nobody was there. Here comes Barkov. Good pressure here by the Panthers. Oh, good stop, Monty. Come on. Get it out, boy. Good clear there by whoever that was that did that. I didn't see who that was. But Aiken, that's why they wouldn't give him the $4 million. He's not that player, and he came back down to to reality on his shooting percentage. And you're right, he hasn't had a goal. He hasn't scored a goal since he signed the contract. Does that mean it was a bad signing? No. Line 4 still went from like the top fourth line in the league to top 10 fourth line in the league. Still good, but definitely the fourth line fell off a little bit. And by the way, still with Evans, I believe he's tied his career high, so he'll improve on his career high. On his career highs. So it's still a good season for him, and I think he deserves the contract he got. Another good save there, sort of by Monty, holding his ground. Again, some big pressure here by Florida. One guy's cleared out at least. Clear it out so you can get a line change. Oh, yeah, I just realized Marchand's in this game. I haven't even noticed him. Habs taking a penalty. Greer down and hasn't gotten up yet. Getting up slowly. Another high stick, I think. I know what number Marchand is. Jesus. Don't I don't know what I'm doing. Of course he's wearing 63. Gooley, high sticking. One of our best penalty killers. Not good. Minute 29 left in the first. It's still 1-1. Shots are 9-8 in favor of Montreal. And I'll be back on cam in just a minute. So another big kill here for Montreal. You don't want to give up a goal here. End of the period like that, you just don't want to do that. Come on, boys. Go waste some time. Evans wasting a little bit of time there. Nice. Good block by Matheson there. Good block. So far, so good, boys. Cleared. 22 seconds left in the period. So they'll have something like 31 seconds, if all's good, in the second for power play time. And it's cleared, so they won't score. And it'll be 1-1 after 31 seconds of power play left for the Panthers in period number 2, and I will be making another appearance. So we got the intermission. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about. That was overall a good period for Montreal. It's 1-1. They're not down by, they're not in a hole. So the worry is now, what do they do in the second? What team comes out? This is a question mark for the second with Montreal, so we'll hope for the best. Anyone miss any old coaches? I thought you wrote couches there, and I was going to say J.D. Vance, but what do you mean by, like, which coaches you talking about? Randy Cunneyworth? No reason to miss Cunneyworth. Why would we miss Terry, Claude Julien, it was a good, he was a nice guy and all that, but I mean, I don't miss that defensive hockey. Carbo is a good one. Carbo for sure. Jacques Demers was. Definitely have nothing against Demers, but Demers was the kind of coach for a certain type of team. He's a player's coach, and players can get away with shit under a guy like Demers. So I don't know if he'd be right for this kind of team, but yeah, I mean, he was a nice old guy. Phil, you got to get your head checked out. Defensive hockey says, not Julien. Are you kidding me? God, you got to be kidding me. Maybe not as bad as Jacques Martin, because that was like watching paint dry. But Julien is very defensive, and Julien only likes to use his vests. He's not big on young guys, so it's not. When he was here, that's the way he was. So I don't want to see Julien back. He's assistant coach over in St. Louis, I think. Guru, yeah, good point. And near the end, Florida was definitely the better of the two teams, but still, Montreal held their ground. It's a new period. Let's hope for the best. Cunneyworth didn't get the chance because he was English, and they didn't want to accept the fact that he was an interim coach, so it didn't have to be a French guy. But not here for the French player, for the French fans. Esti de Gaulis, il parle pas en français. Gaulis. Whoever was Dumbo, big ears, super defensive. Jacques Martin. I thought a cuppa means tea. I'll have a cuppa something. Julien was an asshole, you thought? I mean, it's just that he didn't want to use the young guys. And I mean, I don't know that we had great young players here at the time, but he lived and died with veterans, Julien. You want Tortorella as ass coach for Marty here. That's the kind of move that would be. It would be an ass move to have Torts here. Why? To be Marty's assistant? Oh, they get along. Okay, wait a second. I didn't think about that. I don't know that Torts would do something like that anyway, but you're right about I forgot about the relationship. So I don't know about that for me. Hey, Paul, how's it going? How's the ice? Frozen. I mean, I don't know how the ice is, but yeah, it's Florida, so everything's bad there. Bay definitely Terrien was the asshole. Definitely. And Terrien was just horrible, and he was horrible with the players. He was just a bully. No on Terrien. Bay, yeah, I kind of remember that. Renegade Man. There are things called translators. Translators, man. Guy doesn't have to be French. I know. Sorry, the separatists shouldn't get what they want. Fuck them. But I digress. Toe Blake and Scotty Bowman, best coaches ever in Montreal. Yeah, Scotty Bowman wasn't well loved by the players, yet was loved because of how he got the best out of them. But I don't think that style can be done anymore. Oh, who's who? The assistants aren't the problem in Montreal. The head coach has to be bilingual. But players don't. And if you look at a guy like Matvey Michkov, just take that guy, uses a translator. Well, if that can be done there, why can't we do that here? And get the now, I'm not knocking Marty at all. This is not a knock on Marty. It's just over the years. Why couldn't we do that to get better coaches? I don't understand that. So what's more important? They all complain if the team loses, and they give shit. But what's more important? Language seemed to be more important than winning, yet they complain about not winning. Sorry, I don't buy that garbage. Why does Pizzetta to play likely 4 or 5 minutes all game? Because he is a fourth liner. Was Raw playing that bad? And you don't know how much he's playing this game, do you? And I'll ask you this only. And I don't know why Raw is out. Do you know why he's out and not in the game? That you could say why was he? But you don't know the reasons. I don't know the reasons. I'll assume because he hasn't been playing as well as they wanted him to play. And maybe there's an injury we don't know about. Maybe there's other things we don't know about. So don't always be angry about something that happened. You got to think about why it might have happened. You like Heineman on second? He is on the second line, eh? Pizzetta, there's got to be a reason Raw's not in the lineup. I like the fact that they moved Heineman up, and Pizzetta's not going to get a ton of ice time. He's a fourth liner. It doesn't matter that much. So sorry if I was a little overboard there. I apologize. Okay, but I get it but back in the day, I don't know if that was so bad that Terrien smoked in the hall between periods. He was an asshole. Didn't matter what he did. He was an asshole. Al McNeil only lasted 1 year because he was not French. I don't believe that's true. Because we're talking, what year we talk about? We're talking before. No, this French thing that needed to be French, that happened in the 80s. Not in the 70s. Al McNeil was the 70s. The reason the players didn't like Al McNeil. I don't know what the reason was, but the players did not like Al McNeil, and I think that's why he only lasted a year here. It was the players or the reporters, But being a French coach in the 70s was not a problem. The last guy that didn't speak French was Bob Berry. And Bob Berry was in the 80s. So, no, that became a thing in the 80s when the whiny ass separatists couldn't get their way on enough things, or they were feeling too empowered and they had to pick on this garbage. Lucas, there's obviously solutions, right? That's the point. But there's solutions. So I don't see why a coach has to be French. And I'm not asking to trade St. Louis. I love St. Louis. But all these years up to that was bullshit. I don't care. I don't trust AI totally either. But there's translators. And they're people and they need employment. Yeah, I don't think, Lucas, I agree. I don't think smoking's a character flaw for a coach. I bet you in the old days they smoked behind the bench. J-Fed, yeah, Montreal needs to evolve. I mean, when St. Louis is done, the next guy doesn't have to be French. But who knows then? Who knows what it'll be then? Would you like us to hold your hand while you walk past somebody who's smoking as well? I can hold your hand for you. Listen, the last time you didn't like the 11 forward, 7 defensemen. Now you don't like dressing 12 forwards. Like, you got to make up your mind, dude. BL, I know Al McNeil was from Maritimes. Old days, they definitely smoked in the dressing room, babe. I bet. Definitely. Well, you don't have to yell at me, Paul. I don't know why you're yelling at me. Says, okay, Rick, let's put a coach who has to speak French. No, no. Okay, I'll tell you why a coach today would have to speak Russian, German, Swedish, French, Italian, American, and many more. Case closed. The language of hockey is English. So what that means is in practices and whatever, when the team is together, all teams in the NHL, English. BL, who was the last non-French speaking head coach then? Was Bob Berry. And if you're going to say Randy Cunneyworth, he was an interim. I'm not talking interims. Don't mention interims to me. But again, okay, I get what you're saying now, Huzu. I get it, and I'm like that. Of course, you're going to be, but I'm still saying it's like, okay, I'll hold your hand while you're in this situation. Will it make you feel better? Like, I'm sorry, be a grown up, grow a pair of balls or whatever. Again, Cunneyworth, interim coach. I read your whole thing, V. Well, an interim is not a coach. Like, an interim shouldn't have to speak French. Imagine how much harder that is to do necessarily, right? No, we're talking about head coaches. Interim shouldn't have to be in this. V, I'd rather see Roy in the lineup as well, but do you know why he's out? I don't. So you're complaining about something that we don't know why he's out. So you could say, "Oh, I'd rather have this," but to be complaining about it, and when you don't have the information, why? It's redundant. We'll find out what happened, then you can complain. But in the moment, I don't know why Raw's not in the lineup. He's missed a couple of games. I think they're not happy with his play. He's not sent back down, Immer. I'm going to just call you Immer. But from what I understand, that's why he's not in the lineup right now. Who's sitting? Jack Guy is sitting for goalie, Lucas. Pez will drop the mitts, and maybe that's the reason why Pez is in the lineup. Jack Guy is sitting. They put Pez in the lineup. Florida could be a tough team to play, and it could be physical. Pascal Vincent is their next guy for the job. I don't think you can say that. I really don't. Why? Because I think Marty's going to be here for a long time. He could easily outlast Pascal. So, maybe potentially if something happened to Marty, but Pascal could get an NHL offer next season. They're not going to hold him back from that. So I don't agree. I'm full of disagreement today, aren't I? Okay, they're about to start. For you guys, it might have already started, but for me, it's about to start. Who's who? If you're eliminating even one coach from that pool, it's a restriction. Whether it's a big one or not, it's a restriction. And I'm sorry, there are a lot of good unilingual English coaches that won't get considered, no matter how many you got on the French side, and then it's still a restriction. I'm not a fan in Montreal. I'm not. There's a lot of fans like me in Montreal, and I don't pick up everything they're saying in French. So I'm not important either. And I'm sorry, it still goes that a translator takes care of the problem. And I'm not gonna. You can give me all your argument. I'm not gonna change on that. Jack has not been playing well, according to everybody that knows a lot better than I do, and I think that's why he's sitting. Very simply. I mean, his game is still a work in progress, Jack Eye, right? And so right now it needs work. Paid by We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do with goalie. That's a new issue coming up, like in the last few days, that they should go get a goalie. I don't know. Just a penalty kill here? Oh, they had that. Yeah, they had the leftover. So we're just over a minute into the second. Shots are 10-10. It's a 10 apiece, and it's a 1-1 tie. It's a pretty even game as far as stats wise. BL, I've mentioned this a couple times. I saw a prediction. Someone, I guess, had asked AI to predict the Canadiens lineup for next season. McTavish was our second line center. So I guess that AI programmer at the time thought McTavish was the guy that Montreal would go get. Does it mean anything? Not really. Paul, whatever it is, he's not in the lineup. So, and even for today, it could be they wanted another physical player in the lineup, and they put Pez there. They took him out. That's the reason. So, who's who? Are you equating skin color and language as an equal thing? We're talking about a language. A person can't change their skin color. If he's the right person, it's the right person. He can't change his skin color. If you can't understand somebody, there's a thing called a translator. I don't think it's the same thing, man. Fight, fight, fight. Two fights. Andy, I can't see both of them. They've broken up. Greer, Galley is not involved in the fight, just holding on to him. Oh, now they're going to fight. Oh, yeah. That was words. Okay, that was interesting. Oh, geez, there's a lot of comments and I'm missing a lot. 4-on-4. Andy for Montreal and number 10 for Florida. Cross-checking for Andy and roughing for Greer. Some shit like that. Yeah, I don't think anybody's talking about Primo being in here to play net again. No, Primo's an AHL goalie. I don't care what his numbers are down there. He ain't coming back up here and doing that at this point. I don't trust in that anyway. I'll just say that I don't trust in it. Oy, excuse me. It's afternoon. Why am I yawning? I have no idea. Probably for the reason I'm going off camera. That might be something to do with it. That's joking. Yeah, I think that's the what Babe by saying there. I don't think Primo handles the NHL pressure well, and overall, it's not good for him. Now he's still young though, so maybe just he wasn't ready. I don't know. I'm not trusting him to come back in here in a playoff race where we need to win and putting Primo in net. No. Excuse me. Will Fowler at least be in Laval next year? I'm gonna say probably, yeah. Yeah, and like Immer says there, I don't think there was one game. Was there one game this year Primo was in where he looked confident all game? I don't think so. Anyways, listen, backup goalie or a 1B kind of goalie might be something that Habs address in the offseason. It might be. There is some talk about it starting. I started hearing that like just the other day. So I don't remember who was in here that was mentioning it. I heard one time I heard people saying that. It's like, okay, I don't know. We'll see what kind of if that picks up and if they do anything. Oh, that was a close one there. Gallagher and Devo. I don't know if Devo touched it at all, but Galley chipped one at the net. Oh, there's Marcia. Good defensive play there by Gouli on Rodriguez. Renegade man, I think Farrell's kind of on maybe some depth. He'll get a game here and there. Maybe I don't know. I don't see Farrell have a big future in Montreal personally, but no, V he can sign right after he's finished with his hockey in college. He doesn't have to be signed by now. He can sign just before he joins Laval if he decides to leave. So you're wrong on that. And Fowler may already be signed. Isn't he signed to an ELC that just kicks in when he goes to Laval? I kind of. Oh, maybe he's in college. He can't sign an ELC. No, you're right. Demidov will not be in Laval next year. Demidov will not be in Laval next year. No doubt in my mind on that one, dude. He will be in Montreal. Demidov, unless he's on like a conditioning stint, I doubt Demidov ever sees AHL ice. Hey, not bad, eh, Bill? Not bad. Hey, watch. I can even look. I can even look like this guy too. Just takes a second, and then presto, boom! I'm Carey Price. Look at that. That's incredible makeup stuff, man. Fowler being compared to Swayman, I don't like that. I'll compare Fowler to you know what? He's going to be just like that goalie Fowler. That's who he's going to be like. Some good hockey here, and I'm missing it too. 11 minutes left in the second. Shots are 12-11. This time Florida's up. Still a 1-1 tie. So whatever we got to say, Montreal's staying with them. So far, so good. I'm knocking wood, my head. And yeah, I think they can stay with them. I'm very happy. Will Reinbacher get what? Be what? Will Reinbacher. Will Reinbacher. With a question mark. I don't know what you mean there, Bill. You just meant not with SKA. He won't be with SKA. He'll be here in Montreal. Hell, you could tell just before the first playoff game, and he was in it and got a goal. They interviewed him. A girl reporter interviewed him at ringside. And you could tell by his answers and the way he's not interested to be there anymore. He wants out of there. He can't wait to get out of there the way they're treating him. But there's how many players go to college 2 years and then they jump and they finish their degree at night or in the off season. So you're not given any like reasons why that are ironclad that he would not make the jump. I believe Fowler will make the jump. I also do believe that because he said this, if he feels that it's to his benefit to stay in college for 4 years, he will. But what's he going to learn there as far as his hockey? If anything, it could be detrimental to his game to stay 2 extra years in a league where he's not learning anything. So no, he's making the jump. He could go straight to Montreal if he has like a crazy killer good training camp, sure. But the likelihood is, as a goalie, he'll spend a year in Laval. What it was like to play on the same line as the Rocket, but I am the Rocket. So I don't want to talk about playing with myself because people will take that the wrong way. I think Reinbacher will get some NHL games, says Renegade Man, by the end of next season. I could see. I'm just tired of the Michkov Reinbacher comparison. I think it might be earlier than at the end, but yeah, next season, I think at one point Reinbacher should be here. I think Fowler will be in Laval next season. He's one of those guys that's going to be. It's going to be a quick. He's going to be a young goalie in the league. There's young goalies in the league, and he's going to be one of those. BL Monty probably won't be here, right? Jack, I guess the possibility's there. So as much as I was like against that idea, I mean, we'll see. You could say that almost about anybody. Well, almost about anybody, right? Yeah. That would only be, I would say that would be AI, that they made an AI thing. It's not happening. Devin, not that he doesn't love his country. He's not happy there playing hockey. Not with what they did to him this year. You'd think if they wanted him to stay, they'd have done it the other way around. But no. I think Jack will be here long term. Yeah. I agree with you, Emmer. Goalies take longer. It's a general rule. It's not a ironclad rule. And look at Dustin Wolf. Is he a goalie that's taking longer? I don't think so. Your reasoning is getting thinner and thinner there, V. BL, that's not 100% true to everybody. So don't lump all players in the same. Some players and a lot of players take courses at night or mostly in the off season, but they take courses and finish college in the off season. Now, guys that didn't go that way, went through the junior, maybe they don't go to school. But guys that were in college tend to finish. And you just don't see it because they're doing it in the off season. With the Calder, man, don't write Michkov out. He just yesterday 2 goals. He's tied with Hudson points wise. This is a race that's coming down to the end. So as long as Hudson can just stay there, right with everybody, hopefully be at least a point ahead, I believe Hudson wins the Calder. BL, I mean, okay, but I'm Charles Barkley made probably a shit ton more money than Fowler's ever going to make. And I don't know, Fowler seems like kind of kid he's a really serious and real smart kid. I kind of think he's going to finish college, but doesn't have to finish it in the next 2 years. He could take a few years in the off season to finish college. So V, I think this is what it is. No matter what I'm going to say, you're just going to argue against it. We're about to start the second, right? People like you are just called contrarians because whatever everyone's talking about, you're going to be the opposite. You're going to be contrary to what people are thinking and saying. That's fine. Do that. I don't have to engage with that. Lucas, exactly. Even if Michkov, I think so. I think they have to finish a good bit ahead of him for him not to get it. But I think the way people are talking, Hudson's going to need to be ahead. Fine. Let's hope. But goddamn, Michkov has to come back from behind there and tie him up. I don't like that. And I'm coming back on. So we got a little under 9 minutes to go here in this. Oh yeah, they're not coming back. They come back from commercial. In the second, it's still 1-1. Shots are 13-12, and yeah, it's been a good game. What I've seen of it. It's not that I know so much and can't have a discussion. You don't want to have a discussion, though. You don't. You want to have an argument. I don't want to argue. So maybe think of ways to talk to me that aren't so aggressive, I guess. And you can say I'm aggressive at times. Yeah, okay, I'm the host. I put the work in here. Now we can talk about Michkov. It's just pissing me off that he actually came back. That's all. I want Hudson to win it. So what? We're on the power play. I missed it. Oh yeah, we're on the power play. Okay, I thought I'm watching a replay. I'm gonna blow this. 35 for Caulfield. No, it's Slav. I thought Caulfield got it. 45 points now for Slav, I think. Oh, it didn't get through to Caulfield. From the angle I saw, I thought it got to Caulfield. Nice. Oh, yeah. Who's the defenseman? Off the defenseman's leg and then in. Well, if the channel sucks, I mean, why are you here? And you're not agreeing with me. I mean, you can agree with me if you want. You don't have to. I'm just saying, maybe think how you're saying it. That's all. Everyone's allowed to have their opinions here. And I'm allowed as well. Anyways, take another chance and see if we can get along. That's all. Or don't come back. I don't know. Whatever you want. I wouldn't be so cranky if Matt was here. Oh, yeah. Caulfield would have got that if it made it through to him. Yeah. Every time my Flodor and your dog groans, sorry about that. Yeah, fluke or not, I'll take it. So we're up to, by the way, we're up 2-1. I guess V left, so well. He doesn't have enough fight in him. For a guy who wants to be aggressive, doesn't have enough fight in him then. Got to look deep inside yourself, V. Yeah, but Renegade Man, he's 21. He's going to be 21, I think, tomorrow. Or it's today. He'll get it. Believe me, he'll get it. I don't think his whole career is going to be just a second half guy. But at least he does come back in the second half. And, it looks like he's going to tie his points last year. And I think that's fine at 21. I don't think that's bad. Good save there, Monty. I don't think he saw that hardly at all. I mean, there's still a lot of hockey left, but man, do we have Florida's number this year or something? Like, what's going on with that? I'm really happy for it, and I don't want it to change, but I'm just curious. That's just a weird thing. Okay, I think it's funny too. I've been doing this too long to get mad at V, like to really be mad at him. And believe me, if he comes back in and he's not aggressive with me, have all the opinions you want, and we can talk about it. But I just found him to be aggressive for nothing. And like everything I said, he's coming back aggressively with the opposite. It's fine to not believe what I believe, but and I'm the host, so I'm moody sometimes. I'm overly aggressive, but I always apologize. I think that's a redeeming value, don't you? And I don't hold grudges from one day to the next. He did this to me last time, and when he came in, I started talking to him. I didn't tell him off. Like, I don't hold the grudge, but he was the same way, so what am I going to do? He'll come back again for a third time. It'll be the same, and he'll tell me my channel's no good. Okay. My channel's no good. Big deal. There's other channels. 6:27 left in the second. So far, so good in this one for Montreal. Hockey, I mean, to a certain point. I mean, I got to be careful if I'm moody to not piss people off for nothing, just because I'm in a bad mood. I don't want to be that way, and I know at times I can be. So I got to be careful too, and I have to be respectful. Hell, you guys are coming in here. If you don't come in here, what am I doing? So I don't like to be disrespected either. That's all. I felt he was disrespectful. That's all. I mean, you might see sometimes the way I'm talking that I'm trying to push you to agree with me. It's not really that. I hope people see that is not what I'm doing. And if I'm doing that, tell me and I'll stop. I don't really want to be that bullying person. But sometimes I'm aggressive, but I mean, I am the host here. I'm supposed to be. What about Gislain? He holds grudges. Obviously, or he'd have been back. You told somebody there was caffeine in chocolate, which there is, I do believe, and they blocked you. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in that case, I know some people just don't want to be proven wrong or proven ignorant because that's all that is. He's ignorant of the truth. Um, okay, I gotta put this one up. What Huzu said because it's sort of true. Every time someone says the word French, veins pop out of my forehead. No, and this is not exactly true. It's not that you say the word French. That's not it. It's the attitude that French is better than English. If that comes into the conversation, I turn off and I'm going to be the way you see me. Don't give me that. And I put up with that goddamn garbage for 48 years now. And I'm tired of it. Because look how good Quebec is being run, right? Oh, look how good it is here. So, yeah, see the veins popping out of my head? So, no, I have nothing against French people. Hell, my ex wife is French. My kids are half French. I don't have a problem with French. Oh, V came back. He came back to insult me from the look of it. BL, if I didn't like disagreeing people, me and BL wouldn't get along, and we get along. I'll tell you what, V. We'll come to this agreement. We'll erase the slate. We'll go forward, and I will give you a second chance in how I'm looking at what you're saying. Is that fair enough? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm always able to say I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Let's wipe the slate and go from here and see if it happens again or not. How's that? Fair enough? And like I said, I don't hold grudges. I could argue with you like that in a one show. We'll come back to the next show. I'm not going to treat you like, you're a piece. I'm not going to do that. We start over. That's how it works here. But you are new, so maybe you don't understand that or you didn't know it. So we'll just start over. Hey V, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Good to see you out there. Yeah, BL, that's the two things we agree on, right? Now, we agree on a few other things, but no, in general, BL and I argue a lot, but it's all friendly argument. That's all. And the longer if you hang out longer here, you'll see that it's friendly argument. I don't hate anybody here. Oh, 2-2 is coming up. Thank you, BL. Appreciate the advance warning. It's still in there in the Florida end, just come out. It is in the Habs zone. Yeah, Jones. Yeah, that's not a good one by Monty. V got banned. I touched nothing. If somebody banned him, if there's a mod, is that what they're called? I don't. It's been so long, I don't remember. I did nothing. My hands were not even near my mouse. So if he left on his own. He might have left and just banned me or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's not a good one from Monty. He'd want that one back. Tied game, 2-2. Didn't think this was going to be easy though. I did not ban anybody. I'm just telling you. So if he's not here, he did it on his own. He'll come back or he won't. He is definitely welcome to come back. I have no problem with that. Yeah, that one is I hope that's the only bad one because that could hurt. That hurts badly. That could mean a difference in the game. We'll see. Anyway, it's 2-2. We're tied up. It's not the end of the world, so no, Lucas, I can't see who did it if someone banned him, but you have to have one of those wrenches next to your name to do it. So I know what do we got? Phil, Lucas, Guru, I believe. These are the only three in the room that I believe have the power besides myself. I have the power of Greystoke. Well, there he makes a good save there, Monty. That was a good save with the glove. Is there nice weather where Matt is? It's Sunday. I guess I listen. I don't know. It's Sunday. It's not his day off. It's Sunday afternoon. He doesn't go to church. What are you not doing? Like, what are you doing not being here? I don't know. It should be a new thing we have on this show. Whoever has the best excuse for Matt for not being here gets a prize. That's not a bad idea. If you are the first one with that excuse in the chat and you're from Canada, you win. I can see this. Shh, nobody tell Matt that we're going to do that. No, we can't. Harry's not coming back. Harry took himself out. I did not. I did not fire Harry. I did not do it. Harry took himself out. And the reason is I am too left wing for him. And then by that, you can infer if it's the opposite for me, like, right? Yeah, it depends. Immer. You got to also come up with excuses that haven't been used by Matt in the past. Yeah. I just thought I don't want to say anything bad about Harry. So, like I've said enough. You guys, I don't know what else you want. Harry decided he didn't want to be part of this anymore. You want to know any more than that? You're gonna have to go talk to Harry because he has not talked to me since. So, so if you want to know, ding, 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 Lucas is the winner. Read his comment. That one. As improbable as that actually to me is, it's what it was. I'm going off. I don't know. I'm going off camera again. Intermission time. Why not? So we're gonna. Oh, I shouldn't say it just yet, but yeah, we're gonna be 2-2 after two. Was 1-1 after one. 2-2 after two. Dare I say it is going to be 3-3 after three? Anyway, I don't really want to talk bad about Harry here. I have nothing against him personally, and I did like the kid a lot actually. And no, and I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to talk bad about him. I said all I need to say. That's it. I don't really want to have a conversation about it. Again, BL is he's out there. If he owes you something, just contact him. Let's find something that's not about Harry. You know, I had somebody who looked and sounded just like. Oh, it's about Harry. Harry showed up on my doorstep. Really? He was a fireman. I always wondered if it was the same person. No, Harry's not a fireman. Harry is. He's only nine, 19 or 20. I don't know how. Harry's not very old. Harry's a young guy. I don't remember how old he is. He's young. 20, maybe 21. The Isles girl diss track thing. They were friends, and something happened, and they don't get. I don't know. Something happened, and I think he likes to make fun of her a little bit. Isles girl is an Islanders YouTuber, fan of the Islanders. She's pretty big time. She's got makeup on her face, like the Islanders color, one side, one side. Seemed like a nice girl. Was supposed to be on one of our pods back a little while back, but canceled twice on us because of work. She's a nurse, and she went to a game one day last minute, and she had to work late. So I got to meet her, but and it wasn't through Harry that we got this. It was I forget how we got her. It was through Matt, I think. I don't want to. I don't want Dale East for anything. Sorry. I like real people, not fake people. Oh, Aki, not that he couldn't be a fireman, I guess. Just he's not a fireman. Yeah, she made was it a music video, lawyer? She made a video about when John Tavares left the Islanders. She didn't like him, I don't think. Habs and Dabs, I don't know. They were supposed to have me on again, and I invited them a couple of times, and I think they stopped. I know now I'm blanking on his name, both their names. Okay, the guy out in BC, he got like a serious job, and I think that really affected whether he was able to do that or not. And then the guy here, I think maybe the same thing. And I don't think they're doing this anymore. What's my beef with Weiss? Do I have to go over that again? I just think he's fake. He poses as a Habs fan his whole life. Grew up a Habs fan. He didn't grow up a Habs fan. I was on one of his shows, and I asked him, "Who was your favorite Hab growing up?" Mine was Guy Lafleur, and he couldn't answer me. He couldn't remember, and all he could come up with was a Winnipeg Jet. And he grew up in Winnipeg, but he claims to be a Habs fan his whole life. So that's my beef with him. And then we were kind of competing their YouTube channels. He was part of a YouTube channel. They were banking on his name and his Hab fandomness. That was a lie, and I didn't like it, and I still don't. And he can deny it. I haven't talked to him about it, and I didn't tell him after. Like I didn't say anything, but I'm sorry. If you grew up this huge Habs fan as a kid, and you can't tell me who your favorite Hab was back in the day, you didn't grow up a Habs fan. You're just lying. Is well, I think Drew Deeks was on that. Drew Deeks also just before Drew Deeks got hooked up with them, he was contacting me for like a couple of months. Wanted to do a collab. At that time, I was a bigger channel than him. He wanted to do a collab. Let's get together. We'll do. I didn't know the guy from shit. I agreed, and then he canceled twice. And after the second one, I didn't hear from him, and he was on Habs Tonight, and I've never heard from him since. So I mean, good people work together. So sure, Weiss and Deeks deserve each other. And when I say good people, you don't see me, but I'm putting quotation marks, sarcastically saying good people. Pete the Fist is still a friend of the channel, RBL. It just he's driving a bus. He's got a really good job there, and he just doesn't have his schedule is weird. It's already a 3-hour time difference, but no, Pete's my brother, man. My brother from another mother over there. But Immer, okay, if he said that, I could accept that. It's not what he said. When all you can do is come up with, I forget who that was the Winnipeg Jet, but that's all you could come up with as your favorite player, like growing up. Well, then you were a Jets fan, I think, which is fine. But if you're posing as that Habs fan to get people to sign up, sub for your channel, and in effect give money to your channel, and you're fake, I take offense to that. Hey Joe, I always use the loose leaf tea too, but it's different reason. No, it's a stupid joke. Don't even repeat that. Anyways, if you go into a Habs tonight's content, I'm sure way back at the beginning when they started, there's a video, and they get viewers to video with them, right? So I got on video on camera, and I asked the question, and I did a video about him, Dutch Gretzky. There's a video on my channel about why Weiss is known as the Dutch Gretzky. And I did that before this thing happened. So at the time, I still liked him. Anyways, Weiss is not. I mean, I don't even think Habs tonight is a thing. I think they went under. I think, and Weiss was already out of it. He had left, and the other guy too, because I almost got a job with them. That's why I was on that video. They were considering me to be on the channel, and so I thought, okay, I'll go on. They'll put me on. It'd be good promotion for my channel, and I got on. That's what happened. But both those guys are both gone from there, and the other guy, not Weiss, was an even bigger liar and crook. You got to be careful with people. Babe, you started a Leafs fan? Oh, that is sad. But you know what? It doesn't matter who you like. Even here, look, we got Leafs fans here. Adam and Zachary. I mean, those two guys and they're good people. They're they're not insufferable, and you can't and you get mad at them like that, right? So I don't care who. If you're new to this channel now, I don't care who you're a fan of. I don't. Just be a normal person, a nice person. And don't come in here and tell us this and blah 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 and Habs. Don't do that. But hell, like who you like. I don't care. The only thing that's required to stay around here is civility with other people. Be civil. You can have whatever opinion you want, but be civil about it. And that was my disagreement with V. I didn't think he was my sense of civility, I guess. I'm the only one that's allowed to be uncivil here, okay? Kind of true, but I don't like being that way either. Your favorite Hab of all time, Mike McPhee, but right, he grew up like right near you. And I get that. And you know what? I like Mike McPhee. Mike McPhee was a tough son of a bitch. And could put up some stats too. What? Okay, Immer is saying, wasn't there some Montreal media reporter working for them at one point? Oh, are you talking about old number 17 for the Habs, Murray Wilson? You talking about Murray Wilson? He worked for the radio station after his career, and he made some sexual advances and did some weird things to a female reporter. Is that who you're talking about? I don't know why that makes me think of him. Don Alfredo, I hope you're just saying that the Canadiens suck because you're listening to what we're saying, and you're a Florida fan, but it's in good humor, and that's fine. Are you a Panthers fan? And by the way, welcome to the channel because if I haven't seen you before or noticed you, so welcome to the channel. I say that tentatively if you're new because I don't know how you're going to react, but yeah, we accept all fans here. Just you got to be civil. That's all. Oh, Beba, you came over because of Frank. Yeah, I've got a picture of Frank right there. I don't know if you can see it. No, well, you can't because I got the thing off. But there's a picture of Frank on my wall. Steve Shutt was a hell of a player. I loved watching Shutt too. Oh no, it wouldn't be Murray Wilson. I'm not sure who you're talking about at all. He was an old, skinny guy who was quite nutty. If I was skinnier, I think you're talking about me. It wasn't me though. Say properly, a bandwagoner. There's a ton of bandwagoners, unfortunately. Remember, I used to do videos about that. I used to make a lot of reference to bandwagoners in thumbnails and stuff. January 13, which is my cousin's birthday. 71, though. It was 64 for her. So, yeah. Traded to the Montreal Canadiens for 54 plus years as a Hab. And who went the other way? There was one bigger name. I know might have been a couple of players, but there was a young kid went the other way that was basically a future star. You remember his name? Immer, that's funny. Got a coworker named Mike McPhee. He's still trying to convince him to grow a mustache. Got to be a big bushy one, though, right? Me too. A big fan of Shane Corson. It's why my favorite number is 17, or 27. Excuse me. That's my favorite number to wear when I play. That was the reason he got traded. I think the first time here in Montreal was his nightlife. He was a nutty guy. Yeah, he liked to party and shit. Yeah, but that's well known as Shane Carson. Johnny Cash, better game today. Yes, 100% better game. Now, there's still a period to go, and let's hope it doesn't fall off. But if they just play the way they are now, they should be okay. And I'd love to see them get a regulation win, but man, at least get it to overtime. So, oh, Beba, it's not like me. He said only quite nutty, not totally nuts. Ah, I got it. But I can't think of who it is. And Bebe's got it. Mickey Redmond was the name that I was thinking of. The other two guys, Guy Charon, you might sort of know that name, and Bill Collins might not know that name. were the other guys. But Mickey Redmond was a young kid. Um, I'm not sure if he went on to score 50 over there with Detroit, but he was a pretty good player with Detroit. An up-and-coming young star here in Montreal. But they got Frank, and that made a huge difference because they won a cup pretty quickly with Frank. But I remember that trade. Like it was, I forget what year. What was the year? 71. But I remember that. I was only 8. But I remember that strongly enough that that's why I remember Mickey Redmond so well, is because of that trade. That's how big hockey was. I was 8 years old. But man, that was a huge trade, and everybody talked about it. I see they're showing the game summary. So Panthers pulled away a little bit in the shots on goal. They're out hitting Montreal. Other than that, it's pretty even game. Joe, we're getting that tomorrow. We're supposed to get a lot of rain tomorrow. But we'll see. We were supposed to get a lot of snow. We got maybe 2 centimeters. And then today was supposed to be a bit of rain too. And we didn't get that much. Anyways, they're almost back. I'll be back on camera in a minute. They're back for the second in just a minute as well. That's Redmond, right? So in 72, 73, 73, 74, he had 52 and 51 goals for Detroit. Yeah, he was a real up-and-coming star for Montreal. It was going to be for Montreal. But it's one of those cases, even back then, you had to give up somebody to get somebody. So they are underway. Big period here for Montreal. This is really a game they need to win. Well, Verhaeghe tried to do almost the same thing on the other side with the backhand. Monty made the save. Anyway, it's all the way down the ice now for an icing. Yeah, Corson was a nightlife kind of guy. And Montreal, listen, great city. That if you're a nightlife guy, you're going to find a lot. And it was the reason. That was the rumor. That was the reason they traded him in the first place. So, the first time. So, Brendan Kelly. I don't know what he looks like. So, if you read a Brendan Kelly anything, it's like when the orange asshole over down south talks. It's all either lies or just bullshit. Brendan Kelly is a bullshit artist, and he's a writer, and just don't even bother reading anything that guy writes. He's a clickbait artist. He has no good opinions, and he just wants you to click because how sensationalistic it might be. On not wanting Suzuki as a captain, that's not that weird. A lot of people didn't. And they won't admit it now. I think a lot of people who are, I don't know, Suzuki's not the guy, won't admit it now that he's proven to be so far like a really good captain. But yeah, I mean, if the wrong guy like Galchenyuk, you bring the wrong guy here who's a big nightlife guy, it's not going to go well. And I think that's one of the reasons why in the interviews before they draft guys, they probably, that's what they're trying to find out. Are they going to be a problem here in Montreal or not? That's one of the things, I think. JFed, what is SA? I'm not sure, but yeah, I think I heard something about that. Yeah, Corson and Tucker. Tucker married Corson's sister. Anyway, Shane Corson, I love Shane Corson as a player. And if I'm playing hockey, which it hasn't happened in a long time, number 27 is my number. And when you see me with the yellow one, I don't have the number 27 anymore. Someone took it from me. So I don't have it. But I wore the 27 and it had the C on it. Because I wasn't the best player on the team by far. I wasn't. But I was the guy running the team, so I was the captain. Oh, Bob's helmet came off. Good thing his head didn't go with it, but yikes. Oh, is that what SA is? Okay. Yeah, I'd heard something about it. By the way, yeah, I'm not going to be all, oh no, I can't believe my eyes saw that word. For you to write that, you could have written it out. You didn't have to write it like that. I'm not like, I'm not going to melt because I saw it. My eyes won't burn. Oh, God, who was that? How did you miss that? And at the same time, my feed went. Oh, they didn't miss it. My feed just stopped. It was okay. I got to see that again because I. Okay. No, okay, he missed that. Slav missed that open net, and then Suzuki scored. Yeah, I saw Slav miss the open net, and then it stopped. Like, oh shit! Nice, Suzuki. Boom. Delayed horn. There you go. Don't ever say I'm not horny. Oh, terms of service? They're not going to stop that in the chat like that. Hey, a Leaf fan. Hey, Adam. Adam's even go for the Habs, but understandable. It's Florida. That's a tight. I mean, that's a tight race there too. If you think the wild card race there is tight, the top three teams in the Atlantic are 1 point off each other, 92, and then there's two at 91. It's like crazy how tight that is. Did Savard get a penalty there? No. Okay, that looked like a high stick. No, I know me, but they're not going to do anything about it in the. You can't say it, I think, on the air, but you can type it. So I couldn't really repeat it. They might have done something if I did, but. Oh, 3 minutes into this third, 22-16 shots on goal for Florida, but it's 3-2 Habs. Fingers crossed, boys. Fingers crossed. Knock wood. They can hang on to that. It's crazy though. Montreal's able has their number a bit. It's not as bad in this game, but we're still ahead. Yeah, Biel, that's why I liked him so much, right? He was just one of those guys, always worked, stood up for his teammates, and didn't shy away from anybody. Wasn't the biggest guy out there, but like Nyland, didn't back down. And he was pretty decent scorer, decent producer. Good player. Nice call against Montreal here. Oh, did Hudson get a point on that? Yeah. I think I'm even happier for that, right? I really want Hudson to win the Calder so bad. BL, I agree with that. Ottawa, I don't think Ottawa is going to get touched. I should start putting your comments up. Aiken, I said this at the beginning of my show, and I mentioned your name. Yeah, I got that wrong, and I said I forget who it was. I think Aiken and someone else got it right. So I acknowledge when I'm wrong. I acknowledge it. Emmer, but we got 16 shots, but we're winning. Listen, I'll take that. I'll take that. They're talking about on this broadcast, Hudson. Yeah, I was just listening to what they say about the Calder race. Florida's that kind of team, though, right? That's why we question like Jack Eye being out. It's not great against this team. They're very physical, but if they're taking the worst of it, that's cool. It's just part of. He's holding. Come on, that's holding there. How would that guy not holding Strubal's head like that? Come on, garbage refs. Is Hudson now only 1 point behind Chelios? Yeah, he's going to get it. I know, and I think 64 puts him tied for third of all time. The 55, that's just for the Habs, I believe, right? Or is 1 assists and 1 points? I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, I wanted him to get both of those things. BL, it's true. I don't like Kachuk. I really don't. But I mean, yeah, players like that, make a difference. He's got a lot of talent, and he's a real shit disturber kind of guy. You know, so it's different than if a guy is just a pest, right? But he doesn't have the production or anything. But Kachuk does have that, so he's difficult to play against. Who's the right? Is that holding? I mean, he was literally holding him like that. And the ref's looking at it like, really? Emmer, we all don't get the same commercials. There's plenty on here I'm just sick of seeing. It's play them over and over and over again. Oh, my God. Florida is favorite to win the cup. Are they favorite right now to win the cup? Joe's on her 4th cup of tea. It's a lot of trips to the bathroom, Joe. A lot of trips to the loo. I'm doing okay. Still haven't finished this, and I only fill it up like that, so not a lot. And most of my glass of water. Yeah, lawyer, but there's only like how many of those? How many Hudson like defensemen are there in the league? Only a few. $12:45 to go in the third. Habs up 3-2. I wonder if the Panthers at this point now, third game of the season against the Habs, third period here, they're down 3-2. Is there that little seed there in their back of their minds like, can we win against the Habs this year? I wonder if that's not a thing. Not that I expect they're going to give up and not try, but I mean, still, I wonder if it gets in there at all. We need another one, boys. You think a Western Conference team wins the cup? I tend to agree with that. I tend to agree with that. Yeah. But I mean, that really means nothing. But yeah, the team that I think was going to win kind of is a Western team. So yeah. Halfway through this period. Joe, that's the team I was thinking of. That's funny. That's kind of the team I was thinking of. So yeah, it's a Western Conference team. That's a good point, Renegade Man. Is the oh man, Galley, so close. Uh um the first round matchups may take a few of the some of the big teams out of this playoffs. We'll see. When that happens, well, then some of the other teams just have an opportunity they might not have had. Last two Habs Cup wins were kind of like that. Big teams got knocked out, opened the door for Montreal. Those long shots on Monty scare me at times. He saved that one. You think Winnipeg will be less banged up than Dallas, Colorado after the first round? Yeah, I mean that will remain to be seen. What if Dallas or Colorado? What if one of those two teams just sweeps? It's usually the 7-game series that really take that a lot out of you. So we'll have to see what happens. But I don't really like in those first round matchups where you take two, really good teams and you got to take one of them out after that. One of them's going to be knocked out. Oh man, Bielsa's wouldn't Gary the Weasel Bettman squirm if it ended up being a Winnipeg versus Ottawa Stanley Cup final. Yeah, and ESPN, American, yeah, they'd throw up on that. Oh, wait a second. Curfew lifts at 6. You guys are under curfew? Joe, tell us about this. I didn't know that there was a curfew there. Why is this? Why are you under a curfew? I'm going back here. Joe, but for those that don't know, Joe's in Australia, so I can't imagine why you're under a curfew. It's going to be a good series, though, Renegade Man, if Colorado and Dallas face off, right? First round is going to be probably the best series of the first round, maybe. Immer, as much as I don't want to agree with you, yeah, I agree with you. The Leafs may disappoint us all and actually win a round or two. They're a lot better. I think they're built a lot better for the playoffs than they have ever been. And the coach, Berube, he's a better coach than Keefe, and I don't want them to win anything, but they may. 8 minutes to go here in the third. 3-2 Montreal. Shots are 25-18 for Florida. I think at this point with 7.5 minutes left, Montreal's got a really good chance to win this game. But say Florida scores, and I hope it's not on this play here. I think that's a really good chance it's still going to go to overtime and we get that point anyway. At least anyway, the closer we get down to the end of the period, I like Montreal's chances even more. And I hope I didn't just jinx them. But oh my God, Bob made such a good save on Caulfield. How did that not go in? Oh my God. Man, Bob, that was a good save by Bob. Stone cold stoned him. Robbed him. Should go to jail for how much he robbed him. Come on, boys, get it out of there. Under 6. Finally, to get it out deep enough. Yeah, now deep enough to make. Offside to Newhook. Oh my God, too bad. He'd have been all alone. Renegade Man. Yeah, it's not the same over there exactly, but that's okay. That's over there. I don't really care. This the East Conference wildcard race, and the Atlantic Division seeding race is also pretty hot. And maybe the Metro side too. I don't know, but the Eastern Conference has been really tight races. Oh, Joe, okay, I get it. Yeah, no, I get it. I live near the airport here too, but not under a flight path. But I used to, where we used to live when I was still married. But for me anyway, we got used to it. You heard it, but it wasn't as disturbing as when we first moved there. Renegade Man, yeah, I had that at the beginning of the show. Montreal needs to win. One of the reasons is they take back the wild card and leapfrog back over. No, they tie the Rangers, but with a game in hand on the Rangers, they get the wild card. Now, you do get used to the planes, though, right? You do get used to it. Yeah, 6 a.m. thing. We were close enough there. Yeah, we'd feel that. But here I don't. I'm still not that far from the airport, but yeah, I don't hear anything from there. If anything, there's trains, okay, across the highway. Late at night, you can hear that if you're awake. I don't know if it's enough to wake me up. It hasn't really, but you can hear it if you're up. Face off is to the left of Monty here, won by Florida. 5:40 left. Do me a favor from this point. If there's a goal, don't announce it on there, please, so I can see it. And I can really get the full excitement. For the rest of the way here. Otherwise, I don't want to look at the comments. Ooh, almost. Galley not happy about something. Did his stick get knocked out of his hand? Covered up. There you go. Monty covers up for a face-off. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Oh, yeah. Get a lot of that here. We're right near the highway and whatever. But I'm far enough away from it down here. It doesn't bother me much at all. So I like where I live. Okay, so Huzu, it did get knocked out of his hands. Yeah, I thought so. But you know what? He's not going to get the call, right? Galley just came out. If you don't know, Galley came out with a hell of a statement when asked in a little scrum about the refs and their incompetence, in his words, and that how the whole league, players through the whole league are complaining. And I've got a link for it in the description. It's Whiskey Lungs video at the 8:35 point. If you click on it, 8:35 in is the thing I'm talking about. And it's not going to shock me if Galley doesn't get too many calls going forward after he said what he said. He was 100% right, but I don't think the refs are going to like it at all. And I'm surprised I haven't heard that he got fined for it. He said this, I do believe, after the Flyers game. So if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, there's a link in the description at the 8:35 point in that video, or watch the guy's video. It's Whiskey Lung. He's pretty good. And yeah, tell me what you think in another video in the next time we get together. Four minutes. When are they going to pull the goalie? And I'm hoping they have to pull the goalie because I don't want to see them tied up. If they tie it up, they're not pulling the goalie, obviously. It's. I mean, I believe it's corruption too, but it's also some incompetence there. He's 100% right, and I don't think he was ever going to say corruption. Ray, don't bark, baby. What are you barking for? I don't hear anything. Coming down to 3 minutes. Bob's going to come out probably the next time they have possession up in our zone. I think Bob's going to come out. Because they need to win, like literally as much as Montreal does, Panthers do too. They're in such a tight race there. So if they want to be first in their division and not have to play Toronto or Lightning, they got to win. Okay, here comes Panthers up the ice. Bob's going to come out. They got possession up there. Yeah, Bob's coming out. So empty net. 2:20 left. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Keep them to the outside. Under two. Under two. He scored, right? Yeah, Galley with the winner. Wow, insurance. Yeah, I'll come back on camera. I should have been on. Yeah. What the hell? Montreal's got Florida's number. Galley. Yeah. Hey, justice for Galley. 100%. Should have been a penalty. He didn't get the call. He got the goal. Still 144 left. I want to think there's no way they're going to get 2 goals, right? Can't relax, though, because there's still a minute 20 left. They pulled the goalie out? Bob's out? No. There's 5. Last minute of play in the third. Wow, are they going to win this game? Crazy. Not a bad. Listen, if you're going to have a team's number, not a bad team to have their number this year. Yeah, what the guy just said here on my thing, if they lose this one, Habs season could be on the line on Tuesday against the same team. This changes that completely. Gives them a lot more legs for more games, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying at times. Yeah, well, that's Joe. The ghosts go to Florida. All Quebecers go to Florida to vacation. So the ghosts are there for the winter. Marshall waivers 8 a.m. tomorrow, but that's not going to work. That's it. It's over. Oh, they're fighting. Wait. Oh, what happened? Guy took a slap shot. Someone's head. Oh, that he shot the puck at. What a piece of shit. How Montreal uses that as motivation on Tuesday. So Habs win. And they got the whatever their team name is number. Okay, what time? I got a little bit of time. I got to go direct the podcast at 4. I don't know. It's going. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't. I was hoping they'd win, and I had it 4-3 by the way, so it was close. I didn't. I wasn't confident. That's for sure. I said it. I don't really feel confident, but wow, they went out and did it. Crazy. So the Habs are back to the second wild card. It's tentative. It's they're hanging on by a thread, but I'd rather be in that spot than not. So unbelievable. So what do you guys think before I go? What do you guys think for Tuesday? Think we're going to sweep them? Or that one's going to be the hard one to win? It's going to be a hard one to win. That's without a doubt. I think based on that last thing that happened, Montreal goes in Tuesday and kicks ass at home. Bob was really good. Bob was really good. Yep. Did Hudson? You're shitting me. Hudson had 3 assists. Yeah, if that's the case, yeah, even better. Yeah, that what? How shit would that be? Savard gets hit in the head with that slap shot. Then that guy should. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Joe, yeah, they should have a boost from this win going back home with this team that they've beaten now 3 times in this season so far. Guru, I don't doubt that, but also it's got to be in their head. So if Montreal has a good start on Tuesday, it gets in their head a little bit like we can't beat these guys. Does that mean we're going to get an extra physical game? I would think maybe, and I would think maybe Jack-I might be in the lineup on Tuesday, or he's not because they don't want to mess with the chemistry of the winning, lineup. So we'll see. The triple donkey? What's the triple donkey? Crowd better bully the Panthers Tuesday? They probably will. Yeah, it was Mikola, I know. I saw there at the end. He is a marked man. But really, in reality, nothing will happen Tuesday that way. Because there's too much on the line, right? Both teams need to win because the Habs will need to win again, and Florida's going to need to win. There's too much on the line to put that in jeopardy because of revenge. It's not going to happen. I hope they just put whatever's motivating them in on the ice into the game, and not that it has to be a clean game, but not the crazy stuff. That's all. I'm sure it'll be physical and there'll be some pushing, shoving, but I don't think you're going to see anything that's going to hurt the team like their own team. Getting revenge by breaking bodies is a good way to win a game, but it's a good way to be in the penalty box a lot and maybe lose the game. So, and that's what I think the coaches are going to be telling them. All right. On that note, Baby says, got to go watch curling. I got to go direct the podcast. The Flyers podcast is at 4. And I'm the director. Weird, but I'm the director of the Flyers podcast. So I'm going to go get to that. Thanks, everybody, for being here. This was a fun one today. The game ended up great. I had a lot of fun talking to you guys in the chat. And we're going to get back to it on Tuesday. Another meaningful game. Habs are in the playoffs still. And I can't wait. The podcast is not live. We're recording. On Lincoln is in the description to find them. And our other channel is for Don't Puck with Media. As you see underneath me there, it says Don't Puck with Media. That's our other channel. And links are all in the description. It's Flyera, Gonna Flyera is the podcast. And I'm off to go direct it right now. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I will see you soon. Till then, stay safe. Peace out. And have a great rest of the afternoon. Go Habs. Go, man. We're going to make the playoffs. Going to make the playoffs. Ciao, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you like this, give a thumbs up, leave a comment, and please share this video.